Okay, my name is Michael Tong, and today we are talking to Madison Raynor, a sophomore legal studies and journalism major, who is also a sister in her sorority, Sigma Kappa. So let's start. Why did you decide to join Sigma Kappa?
I joined for philanthropy reasons. In high school, I was really involved with community service and extracurricular activities. So when I came to UMass, I'm an out-of-state student, so when I came here, it was a little bit of a shell shock how big it was. So I wanted to find a smaller community, especially that focused on those ideals that I kept throughout high school. And Greek life seemed like the best fit for me, just because not only did I meet a lot of new people, but I also had girls and like-minded girls that wanted to do the same kind of things that I did. So I mean that's pretty much why I joined.
Okay, great. And was there a specific reason you chose Sigma Kappa over other sororities?
So you go through the recruitment process, and they say you should trust the process. It sounds a little cliche, but I didn't think I was going to be in Sigma Kappa when I started out. But as you go through recruitment and as you go through the different days, you really get a sense of where you want to be. And when it was actually Skit Day, they don't do it anymore, but it was Sisterhood Day, and seeing the interactions with the sisters and the girls, I just knew it was a place where I wanted to be because they seemed so comfortable with each other, and they're laughing and just making they obviously were making mistakes, but they were just going through it, trying to fluff it off, kind of. I don't know. It was just a really good feeling. So.
All right, that's interesting. So what was the recruitment process like?
It was a long, long weekend. You go through each house, and then you have different, they call them dates, and you go through, it's 30, 40 minutes, and you talk to the girls, and they rotate through. So, I mean, it's different now being on the other side, but when I was going through, it was just a very, overwhelming experience. So.
I mean, now being on the other side, how do you feel it is now, getting girls to be recruited?
I think recruiting, rather being recruited, it's a lot different. Just because I know, obviously I have knowledge, I guess, of the sorority. I know our values, so when girls are going through, we're looking for our values. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of hard because you want to find girls that would fit best, but you also want them to feel comfortable wherever they end up, so it's kind of trying to find that balance between the two.
Okay. So how would you describe your relationships with your sisters?
I mean, it depends. Honestly, we're not all best friends. We're in a sorority, and we are sisters, but we are girls, and obviously there's drama wherever there are girls. So some relationships are better than others. I think we all have an understanding that no matter what, we'll always be there for each other. Whether that's, I need someone to bring me headphones in the library or that kind of thing. It just depends on the person, I guess, how deep that relationship is. There's some people that I know will be there for me throughout life, but there's others that I know our relationship will probably end after high school, communication-wise, but we'll always be sisters.
That's awesome.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, I guess to sum it all up, how would you describe your experience in Sigma Kappa thus far, and would you have done it any other way?
So far, well, I'm a sophomore. I rushed my freshman year in the fall. I think, I have kind of mixed feelings about rushing so early on. I kind of wish I waited till my sophomore year so that way I could establish more friendships outside of the sorority. That's the hardest part, is that once you go through, it's really, tricky if you don't have a close group and your floor, that kind of thing, to meet other people, because you're always with them. So I think that's the only thing I'm have issues with. But overall, I think it's been a really good experience. I've grown a lot since coming here as a freshman, and just knowing, one of our values is personal growth. So just knowing that as I keep going forward, that I'll have them to help me and keep me accountable. I'm the VPS, Vice President of Scholarship within my sorority, so I'm in charge of everyone's grades, and making sure they're in good academic standing, not only with the school, but also in the sorority as well for a national chapter. So like, I don't know. I know that the girls will always be there for me. But I mean, there's some things that have changed, obviously.
Right. And lastly, is there any advice you would give to other girls who are looking to rush?
I mean, I would give the same advice that I was given by someone that was my mentor from back home. I grew up with her, and she's much older. She went through down south in a sorority. She just told me that no matter where you end up, you're where you need to be. Obviously, we're paying to be in the sorority because it's an extracurricular activity. So to really take a step back and say, is this what I want to do? Is this where I want to be? And if it is, go for it. But it's what you put into it. I mean, you can put nothing into it and just go to what, like, the bare minimum of events, but you're not going to get, like, the true feel of sisterhood from it. So,
Awesome.
yeah, thank you.